Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm a quantum healer and past life regressionist. In this video, I'm going to talk about a past life that a client recently saw in a session with me, and I think that not only is this a really fun past life story to share, but it also had a really good, potent message that will be really relevant and relatable for a lot of people to hear. So in this past life, my client was a man living in a village in the desert, and he had a wife, he had a great life, and one of the things that he really loved doing was giving back to the community. He would actually go and gather a ton of grapes. He would pick a bunch of grapes and put them in a big cart, and he would walk around town giving them out to people in need. So he would love feeding the homeless and feeding anyone that was hungry. So one day he decided that he wanted to take this mission further. He wanted to go to the neighboring village to give out food to the homeless. And keep in mind, this is no small feat. The neighboring village in this desert was at least a week's walk away, but he was determined to help other people. And by the way, I don't actually know what desert this was in. I wasn't able to find out the name of the desert. I'm not even sure if this was on planet Earth, but all I know is that we're in the desert here. And so he decides to set out to the next village over. He brings a big basket of bread with him. It's filled with bread that his wife baked, and he walks over to the next village. On the way over, a big sandstorm takes his sandals, and he loses his sandals and has to do the rest of this journey barefoot. And it's a very tough trek on him. Finally, he makes it all the way to the next village, and sadly, the very first thing that happens is that they drive him away. They don't want him there. They throw rocks and stones at him. They very much do not trust strangers at this next village, likely because they've had some history with strangers coming into the town and doing bad things. So they don't trust him and they drive him away. And at this point, of course, he's a little discouraged, but he is determined to complete his mission and hand out the bread. He doesn't want to go home with a full basket of bread. So he continues on his way and he goes down to the next village. And this next village is a seaside town, and they are filled with abundance. They give him new sandals. They feed him a beautiful seafood meal. They're so gracious and caring and welcome to him. But they don't want his bread because they have more than enough for themselves. And they say, keep your bread and save it for someone else that needs it more. So he thinks to himself, well, I don't want to go home with a full basket of bread. I really want to give all of this bread away. And if I go home now, my wife will be disappointed in me. She'll be upset that I left her for so long without even giving the bread away. So he continues on to the next village. And this time around, he comes upon not just a small village, but it's a full city. And in this next city, he is able to feed the homeless. There are plenty of people in need, people that want his bread, so he's very happy he's able to give his bread away. But at this point, it's been 2 to 3 weeks since he's left home, since the bread was baked. So he ends up giving all of these homeless people food poisoning, and they're very angry, they're very upset, they think he's trying to kill them, and they drive him away from their city. He's very disappointed in himself. He goes home. He thinks that his wife is going to be so angry at him for having left her for so long and having failed in his mission. And when he tells her the story, she just laughs. She laughs it off. She's just happy to have him home. So I'm sharing this story because there were a few really big messages here that my client's higher self wanted them to hear, which is why they showed this past life. And the big one was not getting so fixated on just one idea. He had this idea that he was going to feed the homeless with this bread, and he was not willing to change course. He was not willing to give up and, try something different. In life, it's really important for us to remember that there could be other ways. And if you're really goal-oriented, or maybe you're in a field where you really have to focus on just one thing, it's really important to lose sight of the whole picture, the grand scheme of things, that there might be a better way. That was a really potent message that I thought would be relevant for a lot of people. The other thing was that he was so worried about disappointing his wife that whole lifetime. He didn't want to go home because he thought that she would be angry with him. And he was wrong. When he came home, she left. She was just happy to have him home. So it's really important to remember that we need to do things for ourselves. We need to do what's best for us, and we can't let what other people think of us stop us from making the best decisions for ourselves. I hope that that was a fun and meaningful story, and if you'd like to hear more past life stories, please be sure to like and subscribe to this video. I'd also love to hear what you thought about it in the comments below. I offer these types of quantum healing past life regression sessions both in person in Los Angeles and virtually. So if you're interested in having a session with me, check out the description below as well. That's it for now, and see you in the next video.